Beneath neon lights shimmering like falling stars, Jungkook stepped onto the stage in signature 90s denim, an oversized faded jacket, loose high-waisted jeans, and a thin chain glinting at his waist. Every stitch seemed to hold a rhythm, made for dancing, styling, and moving freely with the pulse of the bass. The music exploded. His movements were sharp yet fluid, a roll of his shoulders, precise footwork, then a small smile that made the stadium roar. The denim wasn't just clothing. It lived with him, fluttering every time he jumped, gleaming as the spotlight swept across the stage. Fans screamed hysterically, their light sticks glowing like a moving galaxy, swaying in unison to his name. At the side of the stage, Lisa, who had come that night as a surprise guest, stood still for a moment. Her eyes shimmered with emotion as she watched the energy and hard work radiating so sincerely from him. She knew how heavy the training and discipline were behind every perfect movement. When Jungkook ended the performance with an iconic pose, breathing hard in triumph, Lisa clapped the loudest, her smile proud and touched all at once. That night, 90s denim became a witness to friendship, dedication, and a stage that united dreams. And amid the endless cheers of fans calling their names, two stars shone not only because of the stage lights, but because of hearts that deeply respected one another. The cheers had barely faded when the music shifted, softer, more emotional. Jungkook stood at center stage, his breath still uneven, strands of hair damp with sweat. The lights turned a gentle blue, reflecting softly off his 90s denim. "I wouldn't be here without you," he said quietly, his voice warm and sincere. The stadium fell silent, then faint sobs could be heard from fans in the front rows. The ocean of light sticks swayed slowly, like calming waves. At the side of the stage, Lisa covered her mouth, moved to tears. She remembered their trainee days, the narrow practice rooms, the tall mirrors, and dreams that once felt too high to reach. Seeing Jungkook standing so confidently tonight filled her with pride, as if witnessing proof that hard work always finds its way. Suddenly, the music changed again, funkier, brighter. Jungkook flashed a playful smile toward the side of the stage. "Lisa, want to join?" he laughed. The crowd screamed even louder. Lisa shyly shook her head, but eventually stepped up. Her jacket sparkled under the lights, contrasting with Jungkook's vintage denim. They exchanged a glance. The count began and boom! Their movements merged in a spontaneous choreography, bursting with energy. The denim spun again, floating with every spin and rapid footwork. Lisa laughed when she nearly slipped, and Jungkook instinctively caught her hand. That small moment sent the fans into even louder hysteria. Not because of sensation, but because of the warmth and genuine chemistry between them. At the end of the song, they stood side by side and bowed deeply. Confetti fell like silver rain. That night wasn't just about 90s style or a dazzling performance. It was about togetherness, about two artists supporting each other beneath the same dream. And as the lights slowly dimmed, one thing remained clear in everyone's hearts. Some stages are created for shining, but the most beautiful ones are the stages we share. Sparkles. Confetti still floated through the air as the main lights went out, leaving behind a soft golden glow. Jungkook and Lisa stood side by side, their breathing not yet steady, but their smiles unwavering. Suddenly, the giant screen behind the stage lit up, not the usual concert visuals, but rehearsal footage, a studio room with tall mirrors. Jungkook practicing late into the night, his denim jacket lying on a chair. Lisa counting beats seriously, repeating the same movement over and over until it was perfect. Sweat, soft laughter after a misstep, then an enthusiastic high five. The audience fell silent, realizing that this magnificent night had been built from thousands of unseen hours. A gentle instrumental played. Jungkook took the mic again. "Sometimes we look strong on stage," he said softly, "but we're really just ordinary people who refuse to give up." Lisa nodded and added, "And having people who believe in us means everything." The cheers turned into long, warm applause, not just hysteria, but appreciation. Then suddenly, a new beat dropped. Retro 90s with a modern twist. The lights shifted to purple and pink. Jungkook took off his denim jacket and tossed it into the air, caught dramatically by a dancer behind him. Lisa laughed at the gesture, "Last dance," she shouted. And they danced again, freer now, without strict choreography. Just groove, improvisation, and pure joy. Jungkook spun quickly, making the crowd scream. Lisa responded with sharp footwork and a fierce expression that captivated everyone. In the middle of the song, they switched positions, as if saying without words, "This isn't a competition, it's a celebration." When the song finally ended, they didn't leave right away. They sat at the edge of the stage, legs dangling, gazing at the sea of lights from the fans. "Tired?" Jungkook asked softly. Lisa smiled gently. "Tired, but happy." In the distance, thousands of voices chanted their names together. And on that night filled with denim, light, and dreams, two stars shone not only because of their talent, but because their hearts remained humble and grateful. The story isn't over. As long as music keeps beating, the stage will always call them back. The night breeze blew softly after the concert officially ended. Yet behind the stage curtains, their story felt even more real. Jungkook walked down the backstage hallway, now wearing a thin white t-shirt after removing his 90s denim jacket. A nearly empty bottle of cold water rested in his hand. His face was tired, but his eyes still sparkled. Not far behind him, Lisa followed with a soft laugh. "Your denim was a real main character tonight," she teased. Jungkook smiled shyly. "I just wanted something that felt free, like the early days of falling in love with music." Lisa nodded. She understood. There had been something different about that night. Not just an unexpected collaboration, but a return to their roots. Dancing not for cameras, not for trending charts, but for the heart. In the lounge, they sat across from each other. The atmosphere was quieter now. Only the faint echo of fans lingering outside the venue could be heard, reluctant to go home. "Strange, isn't it?" Lisa said softly. "We used to be just kids with big dreams. Now we're really here." Jungkook looked at the floor for a moment before smiling. "And we still feel like those kids." A comfortable silence followed. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. A staff member entered carrying a small box. Inside was a denim jacket Jungkook had thrown earlier, now signed by all the dancers as a keepsake. Lisa looked at the jacket and said gently, "Keep it safe. One day you'll see it again, and remember tonight." Jungkook nodded. "We will remember." A few minutes later, they stood on a small balcony of the concert building. From above, the city lights shimmered like fallen stars. "Practice again tomorrow?" Lisa asked. "Of course," Jungkook answered quickly. "Dreams never take a day off." Lisa grinned. "Good. I'm not finished either." And beneath the vast night sky, the two artists stood not as headlines, not as global icons, but as two souls still hungry to learn, still eager to grow, still wanting to dance. The 90s denim might be stored away, the stage lights might fade, but their spirit, it will always live on in every step, every beat, every unfinished dream.